Before the Veyron rewrote every rule about what a supercar could and should be, Bugatti, under the newly minted ownership of Volkswagen Group, toyed with several ideas. Big ideas, weird ideas, engine configurations that seemed more suited to a super spice movie car than a Grand Tourer. Most of those early concepts saw the light of day. Some were paraded at auto shows, bathed in the flashbulb strobe of journalists and dripping with freshly polished chrome. But one concept, designed by Walter de Silva in 1999, never made it past the gate. For years, it was nothing more than a rumour, a ghost in the archives. And when it finally surfaced, it looked like what would happen if you designed a Beetle with a W18 engine. Now the car didn't have a catchy name, at least not one widely circulated. It's been referred to as the secret Bugatti prototype, or more recently, just that weird Veyron precursor. But what it lacked in branding finesse, it more than made up for in mechanical lunacy. This wasn't just another reshaped Audi in a silk robe. This was Bugatti rethinking what a hypercar could be, before the term hypercar had even found its footing. The defining feature of this prototype was its engine. Nestled in the back was a 6.3 litre W18. Yes, you heard that correctly. 18 cylinders, 3 banks of 6, arranged not in a conventional V or straight formation, but in a W layout. The idea was to combine the compactness of a V6 with the output of something large enough to pull a train. It was, in concept, the logical successor to the W12s Volkswagen was already playing with in their more premium projects. Except this one went one step further, because that's what Bugatti was meant to do. Now the W18 engine wasn't entirely new to Bugatti's conceptual experiments. Both the 1998 EB118 and 1999 EB218 saloons had tried the same trick, and the 18/3 Chiron concept shown at Frankfurt in 1999 used a similar drivetrain. But this one was different, not just in design but in intention. It was clearly a testbed for what would become the Veyron. That explains the presence of the wide central horseshoe grille, albeit stylized to resemble a flattened jawbone. It also had that unmistakable C-shaped curve to the side profile, something that later models like the Chiron and even the Tourbillon would wear like a badge of heritage. But this prototype wasn't pretty. It wasn't sleek or elegant or anything remotely resembling the chiseled drama of the eventual Veyron. It was insect-like. You got the sense that it might crawl away when the lights were turned off, with large, round, blank-eyed headlights and a blobby silhouette that would make a Renault Twingo blush. This was less a sculpture in motion and more a rendering of a new Volkswagen Beetle that had eaten too many protein shakes and lost its will to live. It was painted blue, but not just any blue, Bugatti blue. There were vents everywhere, curves that went nowhere, and a rear end that seemed to have been lifted straight from a submarine's intake system. And yet, the bones of what would become the Veyron were very visible. The rear engine cover, the proportions, the wide hips, the single large central exhaust outlet. This was clearly the blueprint. A rough, unfinished, slightly terrifying blueprint, but a blueprint all the same. But despite its obscurity, this concept played a crucial role in Bugatti's evolution under Volkswagen. It was the link between madness and method. When VW first acquired Bugatti, the goal wasn't just to revive an old French marque and sell a few nostalgic trinkets. Ferdinand Piëch, the man pulling the strings, wanted to prove that VW could build the most powerful road car on the planet. 1,000 horsepower, over 400 km per hour, luxury, speed, comfort, all in one. And to get there, they tried everything. Now obviously, the W18 didn't make it. It was too complex, too heavy, too inefficient. By the time the Veyron neared production, Bugatti engineers had landed on the W16, a 16-cylinder engine derived from two VR8s, turbocharged to within an inch of their lives. This engine was more compact and better suited to the performance envelope Bugatti needed to breach the 400 km/h mark. But it was the experimentation with the W18 that made the W16 feasible. It gave engineers the packaging insight, the cooling lessons, and the drivetrain experience necessary to make the final production car not explode on the autobahn. And here is the kicker. The W18 wasn't even that powerful. Naturally aspirated, the 6.3 litre block was good for around 555 horsepower. That's decent, more than decent in the late 1990s, but not nearly enough to threaten the supercar royalty of the day. The McLaren F1 with fewer cylinders and no forced induction was already in a different league entirely, and Bugatti knew it. And so the W18 was shelved, the prototype quickly boxed up, and the focus turned to developing a forced induction monster that could meet Peach's impossible brief. And for years, the prototype sat in darkness, unshown, unmentioned, and unrecognized. Then in the late 2000s, it emerged, not in a press conference, not with fireworks or a stage reveal, but through a photo series in rewrote, the Italian magazine. There it was, blue, bold, bug-eyed, and baffling. Today it lives in the Autostadt Museum in Wolfsburg, where it stands next to the VW factory like some forgotten relic of mad ambition. But there's value in its madness. This prototype was never meant to be a production car. It was a statement, a rolling lab, a test of how much mechanical insanity could be fitted into something that still technically had number plates. In many ways, it embodies what made the Veyron such a triumph. Not the clean, smooth lines of the production model or the Herculean engineering that followed, but the willingness to try something utterly mad, to stack 18 cylinders in a W and make it run just to see if it worked. So no, this prototype will never be worshipped like the Veyron. It's too obscure, too weird, and too underpowered to gain icon status. But it deserves respect. It paved the way for one of the most significant automotive engineering feats in modern history. It was the trial run, the unhinged prelude, a car that dared to be too much, and in doing so taught Bugatti where the line actually was. But at the end of this video, please let me know what you guys thought of the video and what you guys thought of this car. Also, if I sound a little different, I'm sick, so my voice is like way lower, so I am sorry. I didn't want to skip making videos, but now you guys are gonna have to listen to my voice sounding rather different. But yeah, hopefully it's still bearable. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please have a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably enjoy most of my other stuff. So just go through my channel, see if there's something else you like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?